In this episode, we're going to try out the Lift Arc TIG function on the Unimig Viper 185. Let's go. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This episode we're going to be focused on TIG welding. If this is your first time here, mainly I focus on building a 1969 Ford Falcon, which is an Australian Falcon here in Australia. That's what I'm working on. But in this episode specifically, we're going to be looking at Lift Arc TIG. I have a Unimig Viper 185, and that has stick, MIG, and TIG functionality. Now the TIG function is only for mild steel. It is Lift Arc TIG, so it's not high frequency, but you can do mild steel with it. Now, I've never done any TIG before, and I've only done a little bit of MIG, so I'm pretty new at all this stuff, but I thought I'd give a go at trying the MIG function of the machine and seeing how it is. Now, this machine I bought as a bundle. It came with a TIG torch, but to get this working with TIG, I've had to do a few minor things or a few extra things that you're going to need. So let's take a quick look at that and let's see what I'm talking about. All right, so I've just put a few things here so you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. So the welder does come with this TIG torch. So this is a Lift Arc TIG. This is called, I believe, it's on the box, I think it's a T17. And it has a little gas nozzle here. This is the box that it comes in. You can see that there. So it doesn't have a button or anything on it. It's basically, you put your TIG torch down and then you lift it up and it creates an arc. That's basically how it works. So it's not a scratch start, it's a lift arc. So you touch the tungsten on the work and then you lift it up and create the arc. But I'm going to try that. I know you can get stuck with it, a bit like you would with stick welding, but we're going to have a look at that. It also has the built-in gas line here that comes with it, and you plug that into your bottle. So this comes with the bundle. If you just buy the machine on its own, you're not going to get this. A couple of other things I did get that I didn't get with the bundle. Some gloves. So these are some TIG gloves. Obviously much lighter than MIG gloves and a bit easier to, gives you more dexterity when you're holding stuff. I thought I would buy a welding blanket. Not that you really need that for TIG specifically, but it's good if you're welding stuff. You want to be able to cover things that you feel maybe a bit of a safety risk. That gives you that, and yeah, the helmet comes with your thing, so that's the main thing. Now let's have a look at the machine itself, and you're going to have to change the bottle as well because MIG and TIG gas is different. All right, so here's the machine. Have a quick look at the control panel here. You can see here there's a this is a stick, MIG or TIG in the middle, and then MIG is there. So obviously you just put it into TIG. Now, I think that's all you need. You will have to swap the negative, I believe, and put the TIG torch in there. I believe this goes into where the negative is now, but we'll have a look at that. And there's also, this is a bottle for MIG. So with the MIG gas, it's a mix of argon and CO2, I believe. So that's what you use with MIG. When you're doing TIG, you're gonna have to have a different bottle. All right, so with TIG, you're gonna need to get a separate bottle. Obviously, you're gonna have to change it over. So this is a pure argon bottle. You can use this for TIG, have to switch it over. You can use the regulator that comes with the machine. You'll see different types of regulators. This one here does your bottle and this does your gas flow. A lot of people have a different type of regulator, especially for TIG, which has a little tube and a ball in it. But just for the sake of saving on cost and learning TIG, I'm just going to keep using this. Unimig has confirmed you can use it. It is an argon regulator, so it'll work just fine. All right, so I've got the argon bottle now set up on the machine. I've put the regulator in here, and now I'm going to connect the TIG torch gas to the other side of the regulator. So we'll do that. All right, so we need to set the torch up. If you open the inside here, it actually shows you that the earth clamp needs to be on the bottom and the TIG torch needs to be at the top. So I believe when you're doing MIG, the earth is up the top here. So we need to change that and switch these around. Okay, to do this, we're gonna leave the MIG torch in. I believe that should be fine to do that. We're gonna disconnect this for our positive a TIG torch. I believe we'll go up the top here. So that's the TIG torch, and then the negative cable will go down the bottom. That should be it. All right, well, we've got the welder set up. I've got the gas bottle connected. I've got the safety blanket under there just to protect the tools, although I don't expect that much to happen. The TIG torch set up there, and I've got just a couple of pieces of wood to try not to let this get earthed out if I can. This is not the earth lead's not actually touching the table, so yeah, I don't think this should be an issue. We're only going to be doing pretty low amps, so just going to be playing around really. So that's kind of the setup. Okay, we're going to open up this valve now. We'll set some of our pressure. Get that to about 10, which is fine. All right, so the other thing I've done is turn this on. Let's see if we can hear this. You'll be able to hear that gas coming out of the torch when you turn this little knob. So there's your argon. I've already grinded the tip here. I don't know how good that is. As you know, I'm a noob. And I've adjusted the pressure. If we look at the pressure here, we'll see this go down when I open it. So I've adjusted that to just over 10. So when we do have the argon gas going, we don't lose pressure through the torch. So anyway, let's get set up and have a go. One thing you have to remember is once the welder's on, that tip is live. There's not a switch on it, so it is live once you turn it on. So you want to be careful with that, that you don't electrocute yourself or that you don't accidentally arc it when you're not expecting it. So if you touch anything, which is pretty much why I put this on a bit of wood, hopefully trying to minimize that, but I'm going to be super careful about that. But that's one of the things you want to be aware of. Machine is set on TIG. Let's go. That's hot, but it's just walking out so bad. Alright, so all I was really trying to do there is just run some straight lines. It was actually, it's only 1 mil thick sheet, and it's already warped it quite badly, which is what you'd expect from thin sheet metal. So, but I was just trying to really create some lines and have a look at the arc. And yeah, it was actually not too hard to at least do that using no filler wire. So let's have a look at what they look like. All right, so when we look at the welds here, you can see here, this actually got quite warped. I was a little bit all over the shop there. Quite wide, you can see there's quite a bit of heat around that. And on this side, I think it was a little bit better, but a little bit less penetration there. I think I was moving a bit too fast there. And then on the third one, really doesn't look too bad as far as I can tell. You can definitely see it's sunken a bit there, but you can see the line is straight, which is kind of what I was trying to do. Let's have a little look at underneath and see what the penetration looks like. Okay, so when we look underneath, you can see really good penetration on that first one, and the second one, the third one, not so much. I was going much faster there. So yeah, that's kind of how she is. All right, so I had a bit more of a go of TIG welding. Obviously, I need quite a bit more practice before I'm really good enough to really show you anything that interesting. I did do some extra welds on there, and some of those were a few days later. I also switched to a different style of tungsten. So these are Blue Demon tungsten electrodes. They're called multi-mix. I believe these are pretty much good for a lot of different things. So these are recommended. I saw these somewhere and they were recommended, so I've tried some of these. See if that made a difference. Plus these aren't radioactive like the red ones, whatever the red ones are called, I don't remember. But these ones don't have any kind of radioactivity. Whether that matters or not, whether people care, I don't know, but radioactive never really sounds that good, so I switched to these. I also got some Bosweld rods. This is 1.6 mil. This is 70S6. If you can see that there. You can just get this from Bunnings, which is pretty cool. Just to try and feed in some of that filler rod. So still lots of practice to do, but I hope you got something out of this. If you're just beginning your TIG welding journey like I am, you might not realize what's involved. I hope that helped you. And until the next time, we'll see you then. Take care, everyone, and see you next time.